Right, welcome everybody to another episode of Chris and Dave's Reality TV Cast. I'm one of your hosts, Chris, and my co-host and very good friend is Dave.
Hey there, Chris, and hello to our listeners out there. Welcome to Chris and Dave's Reality TV Cast. We are covering Traitors UK Season 3, Week 1, or Episodes 1 through to 3. Now, Chris, where would you like to start today?
Well, Dave, I've got to say, it's been a bit different. We did I'm a Celeb, didn't we, and everything, and we had a little bit of a break, and then we've got in with this. It's not our usual... Well, it is drama, Phil, but not the way we normally get it. They're not all complete charlatans and reality TV wannabes. There's a couple, which I would like to talk about. But just getting into this in the first episode, it's a weird way. I said it like, the other week, that they put it on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday in the UK. That's so bizarre for me. And premium time, BBC One, if you've got BBC iPlayer or VPN, you can get it on the iPlayer. Really good. And the episodes are up. I didn't realise that the first episode went up, but all the episodes were on the iPlayer that day that they were due on at the night. They're actually on earlier. So if you do get a chance, you can watch them a bit earlier. But I think just going into it and thinking, is this going to be as good? And after the first episode, I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm in straight away. Like, there's some bits that were the same. They remove 3 contestants from the train. They've done this before, or they've done it where people say, I'll go. Like in the first ever episode, we saw the first series, them 2 guys, didn't we? And we're like, oh, that's it. And went, see you later. I think people are getting wise that when they volunteer to do these little ad hoc like removal or taking themselves away off the train or they know that they're going to come back. It's a little bit too obvious, even though I've read it's shock return of contestants. I'm like, really? Is it really a shock? They've done that every series so far. So I don't know about you. I'm not shitting on it because I've really enjoyed it, but there is a couple of little tropes that they've done so far. And I'm like, you could have changed that slightly, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think to be fair, they have changed a few little things. I watched it in a bit of a weird way, I think. The day it dropped, I thought it was Wednesday, and I looked on iPlayer, and it was the first 2 episodes. And then whenever, it must have been Friday then, although it feels to me like it was Thursday. My memory's getting a bit hazy already. But whenever it was showing on terrestrial TV, I was a bit behind it anyway. I was watching something else and then jumped in about halfway through and then just on the iPlayer, just put, watch from the start. So, yeah, I watched it sort of not on the regular terrestrial TV schedule, I guess, but just reversing back because this is the second season we'll have covered, week to week. But I still remember that first season because you were saying to me, it was like, oh, it's so good. And you'd watched a few of the episodes. I think all of the episodes were out at that time. And I just remember it vividly because it's when I had my back operation. So I was just at home and I fucking binged the crap out of that because I was just like, oh, I need to know what happens. Like every episode, the drama was just getting, bigger and bigger. And then you had the whole thing where you had the couple and they were, pretending they weren't a couple, and then Numbnuts decides it'd be a really good idea to announce to everyone that we really are a couple and we were lying to everyone. It was just like, oh, this is amazing. And so, yeah, we watched last season as well, and they, like you say, they tweaked a few things. But, its DNA is still very much there. I think what is different now... the thing with the train was obviously different, wasn't it? So they stop the train and then they make it a little group exercise. So the 3 characters, they have to decide who's going to get off and leave the game. Now, because that is different, before they just had to line up, didn't they, in order of who they think would win and whatever. I think if I was there, that might throw me off a little bit. So it might go through your mind that, okay, are they really just going to kick us off? I've said to all my mates and everything, oh, I'm going on, a TV show. I can't tell you what it is, but it's going to be amazing. And then you're back in the day after or something. So I think they will be back. But I thought it was a good exercise not 100% for us, the audience, in terms of probably everyone watching it, unless they've watched it for the last couple of years, or unless they've missed it. Sorry, they might think, "Oh my god, they're actually gone." Most of us know these guys are going to come back, but it was good to see the different characters, the different interactions. There's the guy Dan, who I think is the most selfish contestant I've seen on this program, and I think, oh yeah, and sure enough, in the following episodes, he's just 100% consistent, selfish as fuck, doesn't give a fuck about anyone else, but also he's not being sly about it. He's saying, look, it's a selfish game. I'm being selfish. So I thought it was good that they put that in there. They made it a bit different from the lineup thing, but I see what you're saying. Like, it's a little bit tropey because we know that those three people are probably going to come back.
Yeah, and like I say, I'm not thinking because I've loved it. I loved it so far. And I do think, like, getting into like some of the contestants, like Armani and his sister Maya, who dominated, Armani literally dominated these first 3 episodes. Very interesting that you would have 2 sisters in, because when I was watching, I don't know about you, me and Sam was at them going, but if one of them's a traitor and one of them's, a faithful, and we were, it actually plays out like that. Armani is a traitor. And we find that out pretty quick in the first episode. They're surely going to say before, well, we'll split the money anyway. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you were there with your sibling, you're gonna, your missus or your brother or sister, whoever, you're gonna surely say, well, we'll just try and get as far as we had the mum and son, didn't we, and everything, and in the last one, and it's like you would surely just say, well, we're going to split it. So I think for any of the other contestants, your first reaction is going to be, well, these two are going to be game planning. Anyway, and they're not allowed to talk to each other about being a faithful and a traitor, and that becomes pretty obvious as the week comes on. But I don't know how that works. Like you say, a partner, like a girlfriend and boyfriend, when that bell and spoke up, then I think he was a magician.
So good.
What a dick.
I read people for a living. I'm going to win this.
And it was all because he was getting jealous, wasn't he? Because his missus was having attention from that guy. It was nothing to do with the show. He just ruined their chances. And I sort of understand that. But it was brilliant TV. But I don't know about you, but what did you think, like Armani and Maya? Because I don't know. I just can't understand, especially as it was obvious they were sisters. They look quite, I think they really do look alike. But how would you? So if I was a contestant, and you said that, I'd be thinking, well, these two are going to be plotting. Whatever happens, they got to, aren't they? The family, they live in probably in the same house. So I don't know about you, but it was just very strange, I think, to go down that route again.
I think I don't know. So having the relationship or being related is a theme as well, isn't it? Because like you say, in the second season, you had the son and the mother. So it is something they put in there as a bit of a wild card. Because I don't know. Look at the different permutations of it. So if one of them gets picked a traitor, is it better to be a traitor or a faithful? In the first season, the faithfuls won, didn't they? So, you can plot, if I give you a little wink or something, you'll know I'm a traitor. But how does that help? I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. But if they did have a plan before, it fucking didn't go very well, did it?
Well, you know what? Yeah, one of the things before we talk about Armani, actually, is I did like when we met some of the first contestants, and you've got Charlotte, who everyone thought was a traitor, but she says I'm doing a Welsh accent, even though she's like from down south. She's going, it makes you more trusting, was it, or whatever? They like a Welsh accent. I don't know about that. But then Leanne as well, who, blonde girl, you can see that she's physically fit, but she's cutting on like she don't do anything, and she's in the army. But when they were doing the fucking tasks, she's literally at the front, and one of the guys is like, come on now, you've done this. No, not me. I don't know
just
what
a
she
nail
said.
beautician, mate.
Yeah, that was it, a beautician. But yeah, she's running like fucking Rambo through all these different like things. She's at the front, and I'm like, and she's not even breaking a sweat. So, but I do like the fact that people have come in with a game plan, and we always go back to it. We've talked about it so much. It's so boring for other people, but the fucking Bachelor and that guy had a game plan, which was all a plan. And it's like, how dare he do this? Fuck off! You're on a reality TV show, and plus this one is one where there's a financial reward. So I like the fact that these people are coming in and just trying a couple of different things. I mean, I think Charlotte, like by the end of the first episode, she'd literally crumbled. But I kept listening to her accent going, I don't know whether that is Welsh, to be honest, but she's going with it anyway. So I do respect that her and Leanne have come in at the moment and they've revealed their bit of a game plan. Whether other contestants do as we go into the second week, I don't know. But I love the fact I'm thinking, yeah, the Traitors is back. This is what I want. Proper shithouse fucking moves, fucking proper nastiness and slyness. I love it. Absolutely love it.
You know, with Charlotte, right? And I say this in the most humble and friendly and loving way, Chris, but her plan of going in there with a Welsh accent. You know where I'm going, don't you?
I know exactly where you're going.
It strikes me as a Chris Phelps plan.
Yes, I know exactly. It does. You know my accents are terrible.
It reminds me of Chip Daniels.
Oh, fuck off.
I'm doing a Man United update podcast in some kind of weird Manchester Texan accent.
Yeah, but then it goes around the world, doesn't it? It ends up with like every fucking accent going then. I'm not the best at accents. I'm good for about 10 seconds and then I'm gone.
I mean, to be fair though, Charlotte, she can pass for Welsh, I'm sure, but fucking hell, you're in there for ages and the days are long, aren't they? You're up for breakfast. If you end up being one of the traitors, you're probably up to like, I don't know, 3 o'clock in the morning or something daft. So it must be late. So I don't know. I just think like to be able to keep that up for so long and not just drift into your normal accent, just sort of, oh, I'm knackered, have a bit of a daydream, and someone says, hey, Charlotte, what is it? You have to keep that up for so long. I just think it's a terrible idea. And the thing is, it's not even her accent, but everyone's fucking laying into her because they think she's a traitor anyway. It's like you got shit planned and everyone's going for you anyway. So, yeah, I don't think Charlotte will be there near the end. She's done well to stay. She's got a bit of staying power. I'll give her that. But just because the other players, we've seen again this group mentality, it's so powerful. Once it gets to that Salem witch trials point, when a couple of people point out some nothing things, but they draw a conclusion from it that must mean you're a traitor, and then everyone just jumps in as well. I fucking love it, Chris, because
I do.
These guys must have watched the previous seasons, and they'll watch seasons from other countries as well. So they've come into this with a full-on plan. But, the people who like, oh, fucking always win Monopoly me, they come in with a plan, but it doesn't mean they always win.
No, and that's true. And I think it was obvious by the end of this week because with the 3 traitors we got were Armani, Mina, and Linda. Now, the first episode, they're all together, and I've got to say, fucking Linda's the worst one. She's a retired opera singer. She's 70. She's there, isn't she? Like, she's talking. And then soon as someone said something like, I think they're a traitor, she went, oh my God. Yeah. Wow. I didn't explain. And every reaction is false. And when they were saying, I don't think you're a traitor, and she's like, no, I'm not. And I'm like, I thought she was gold all weekdays. Like, I mean, she's 70 odd. She's a different generation to a lot of the contestants. But I kept thinking, has an agent put you in here and said, do you want to go on the Traitors? And she's never watched it before because she's not, I mean, saying that, she's not gone, but she's not a good fucking traitor to me. So I think she's going to get sussed out. I'd be amazed if she keeps going to the end.
Oh yeah, I mean she's gone next for sure. I think the writing's on the wall. The only thing I'm surprised about is she's made it 3 episodes. I thought it was
Brilliant.
fucking gold there, where Claudia picks the traitors, and then Claudia says like traitors, and then she pops up like a fucking meerkat.
It's like, I know it's an old reference, but in The Great Escape at the end where they've got through the border, I think it's Richard Attenborough and him out of the professional, and he says something like "good luck," and he turns around and fucking blows his whole cover. He's been speaking German, French, and it's like that, and it is like that. And you go in, it's like your Chris Felt special. Go in there and say, "My name's Juan" or something, and then someone goes, "All right, Chris, go hi, mate. You all right?" I want to be like, "You fucking idiot, you idiot." I would do the same, and you're right, and that was picked up on, but she somehow got away with it, didn't she? There was a lot of questions, but she still, there wasn't enough fingers pointing at her for everyone to go for it and go, hang on a minute. But there was some that did, and I love that. You're right. I love that sort of skullduggery and everything. It's like a bloody game of Cluedo at times watching this. I do enjoy the shit houses in it. I love it. I do love it.
Yeah, I can't remember what his name is. I'll scroll through in a sec, but if it was Matt but he was onto her fairly early on. But I think because it was so early on, here it was. It was Jake who was onto her straight away. Yeah. But because it was so early on, I think that sort of saved her. Because people don't know anyone else, and I think what we see again, time and again in this series, is people make their mind up whether someone is a traitor based on their personality, but their personality is their personality. So, I think the thing with Linda, I think because she is on the older side, I think that's probably saved her. And let people sort of like, oh no, she's fine. She's just a bit nervous. And I'm nervous as a faithful as well. Whereas Kaz, the old fucking doctor, who's calm and collected, it's like he's a bit too smart. So he must be a fucking traitor. So
fucking line about Harold Shipman. Fuck me.
I could not believe they said Harold Shipman. And I know we have people listening from all over different countries, but it was it must have been about 20 years ago or something, wasn't it? It was when I was up
near
in
me, Tameside,
up in Manchester. But basically, this doctor was killing off older people. I don't know why I laughed there. I'm laughing because I sort of made a joke the other week, didn't I? But anyway, scooching on past that, he basically, because people were on the older side and he'd go to home visits and he'd kind of, speed up the process a bit. He went undetected for ages, didn't he? But in the end, like one of the UK's biggest fucking serial killers. So I think to call someone fucking Harold Shipman, it's like calling someone fucking Hitler or something, isn't it? It's like, that is really over the line. That's fucking out of order, that is.
It is, to be fair. And if you do watch, as a slight segue, it's just been on and I thought it's phenomenal. But if you do watch Gavin and Stacey, which is the finale was on Christmas Day, Gavin's second name is Shipman. They've got fucking all the names are basically serial killers. One of Gavin's son is called Harry Shipman. You've got fucking Pete.
I didn't know that.
Do you not know that? They're all serial.
No.
What's the Yorkshire Ripper called? Peter Sutcliffe. Sutcliffe,
yeah,
Pete and Dawn.
Oh,
Sutcliffe. They're all fucking murderers' names like in Gavin and Stacey. Obviously, a joke. Yeah, I've took you down the rabbit hole now, Dave. But yeah, honestly, so they've actually got a son. Gavin and Stacey's got a son called Harry Shipman. Fucking ridiculous. And it's like loads of people are only just. I mean, I've watched it from day dot. We love Gavin and Stacey. I know James Corden's an absolute bellend, but I love his character Smithy. But we loved it, cried, laughed everything on that last episode. It's brilliant. But yeah, that's just a complete segue. So if you've never watched Gavin and Stacey, that's another reference for Harold Shipman. But yeah, unbelievable. Again, getting back to this, I couldn't believe it. I was like, fuck me, surely someone's going to step in and go, hang on a minute, that's a bit over the line. But it wasn't. And it just, because he just got shit, didn't he? And it's like,
yeah,
if you look at like this week, they got rid of 5 people, right? Not including the 3 on the train.
3.
Yeah. No. Was it? No, I don't think it was. I think it was. Was it including the 3? I thought there was 5.
Oh, yeah. So I guess they banished a few
Yin.
faithfuls, haven't they?
Yeah,
So she was the first one to go.
because she was clever, computer
Because
scientist.
she was clever.
It's fucking ridiculous.
Well, I thought that was clever by the traitors. Oh no, wasn't she taken out? I'm trying to think now.
No, I think it was the traitors who.
I think the traitors got rid of her first, didn't they?
Yes, they did. Yeah,
that was a clever one, because if someone, so say they got rid of Jake, well, the attention would go immediately to Linda, wouldn't it? Because Jake had already called out Linda as a traitor. Whereas, by picking her, I think, it was a clever move. But yeah, so Yin was murdered. It was Nathan, wasn't it? The guy with the shaved head.
Yeah, he was banished. He was gone. There was 5 people went. So, but the actual success rate of Keith, everyone. Keith. Oh, I love that when he's doing.
Keith was murdered.
He got his martial arts gear on.
Can we just fucking talk about that? Because we'd said in the last season, right? Some of these shots from within the room when they're so-called going to bed are so set up. But this was a different level that he put on his full martial arts gear on. He's just going through his katas.
Some producer said to him, "What's interesting about you?" And he's gone, "I'm a black belt in fucking karate or whatever." And they've gone, "Bring your gear. We need it. Bring it. We need it." And they've used it for literally 10 seconds to fucking get rid of him. I thought that was comedy gold. You're right. Some of the close-up shots when they're sat in bed and they've got a camera there, and it's all like proper cinematics. It's just focused on that person. The rest of the room's blurred out. Somebody does video editing. Like, you're using the proper cinematic cue and the fucking colour grade.
What about Freddy's homoerotic fucking soapy shower?
I know.
He's only 20. It's borderline fucking illegal. Like, it's ridiculous. So yeah, the in-room shots have been a different level this season.
Oh, they've been outstanding. But that sort of takes me out of it then, because then you sort of like going, well, I know there's a production. It's on the BBC. It's their premium show. But basically, The Traitors has become... It's overtook what was The Apprentice. We said this last year. The Apprentice is still going. Alan Sugar. It's fucking rubbish. I've talked about it before when we've done The Traitors. But it's their version of like Love Island in some respects. It's won awards, hasn't it? It's only been going since the first series. It's been absolutely... And I know it was other places. It's a franchise, but it's huge TV over in the UK. I've got so many friends watch it, love it. But you're right, like... It's completely on a different level, like the production this series, and it does take me out, Dave. I genuinely do go, "Oh, why have you done that?" That like makes it seem like more Love Island or Maths, where the producers are just putting their hands on everything. I know they're trying to tell, you're trying to tell a story, but anyway, we wouldn't have got Keith doing his full fucking, katas and stuff with the full outfit on. That was absolute gold for me. But, and I've done this on purpose, and I'm sure we've avoided it, but we've got to talk about Armani, Dave.
Yeah.
Fuck?
Just before we get on to Armani, so the fourth person, so we had Yin, Nathan, Keith, and Ellen was the last one who was banished, wasn't she?
Yes.
And she was I mean, again, just for no real reason, people just went after her. I sort of felt quite sorry for her. But again, I thought it was back to the levels of season 1 where, everyone's crying, if they get accused and stuff. And so that's fucking different level. I did feel quite bad for her. And like I say, I don't really think she did anything wrong. But Armani, so she is the 5th one. So you're right. There's 5 people out. And then we had the 3 who left on the train as well. So it's quite a lot, considering we've only had the first 3 episodes.
Yeah, you're right. Sorry, it's got across.
No, yeah. Just so I was going to get back to your point of Armani. So I must admit, Chris, I was not particularly disappointed when she went.
Oh no, it was brilliant, that one. That was like when somebody becomes a manager and They've never managed people at work, and they just become the devil incarnate, don't they? Yeah, they become like they always say, don't they? The poacher becomes a gamekeeper or whatever it is. Or like she really thought this whole show was about her. We saw that in I think it was season 2, where one of the guys thought he was the main character, and it was what ruined it for her. Paul, yeah, exactly. Paul had got the game plan on this, and what ruined it for her was the fact that she was quite good in the first episode, but when she fucking said to Mina and Linda, you need to up your game at the end of episode 2. Now, Mina's she's 29, she's from Liverpool, she's a call centre manager, and she's not daft, and she's been quite good. I think out of 3 traitors, she's been the strongest. Yeah, she's been the strongest, and she's like, oh, I can't believe it was that day where they didn't murder anyone. She's like, that's what I'm here for, and she loves that. So I'm all in on Mina. I really like what Linda's useless, but Mina's been really good. But it was when she said it to her, and I'm like, and this was going through the episode 2, her cockiness got worse and worse. And I just kept thinking, you're going to be on every reality show possible now you can get on. She's got the book. She is definitely from a talent agency. And I can say this because someone who I've spoke to recently even said that about, someone who we were dealing with has actually said about, I can get you onto get me or you on the traitors ourselves. And I'm like, yeah, but that's just like, you're not going in as a real contestant, are you? You'd be great on that, whatever, because you me gob or whatever. And I'm like, plus you'd be absolutely, we'd be betraying the podcast. You'd be like, Chris is a right dick on here. That Chris, what a dick. But so it is, there is people opening doors for some of these contestants. It's too obvious that I think even Linda, she retired opera singer. There's something there. She's definitely done more than just the opera singing. She's got a polish to the way she is. Like she's not afraid of being on TV. Where there is a couple of contestants who genuinely look like they've got through the sort of interview process to get on the show. But then Armani definitely wants to be on everything, Dave. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a Love Island. She's going to be on some of these after shows. Honestly, there'll be something because she's got that like reality TV star fame thing she wants. You can just see, I don't know what it is, but having watched these shows for all these years, she stood out so much. And as that 3rd episode coming, she's come in, eating the toast and everything. She just thought she was the main character, didn't she? And I was loving it going, but she don't know that every fucker's turning on you because the little dialogues were going on about her. And honestly, her downfall was brilliant by the end of that 3rd episode because she was even her sister turned on her. I don't know whether that was part of the game plan, but I was like, oh, this is fucking. And I've just been saying about you can't have siblings on, but by the end of the 3rd episode, I'm going, this is fucking great. They're definitely having an argument when they get home because she's fucking dropped her. I love that, Dave. I love that whole thing because it made his sister become more of a faithful, I think, in everyone's eyes.
That's the thing, isn't it? And I don't think they'd have had that in a plan. But definitely by her sister saying that, she thinks she could be a traitor, everyone's like, everyone else in the room is trying to gauge other people's personalities and work out. But ultimately, you're trying to figure out, are they acting different from, what I knew of them on the train and coming in here? And, that would give me a clue as to whether they were, being a bit nervous about it or something. But your own fucking sister, who's known you for probably your whole life. I mean, she's the big sister, Armani, as well, isn't she? So,
yeah.
Is it Mimi? Is it the name? I'll scroll through. Maya. So she'd have known her for a whole life. And it's like, yeah, there's something definitely off about her. If I was in that room, even if I didn't suspect Armani, yeah, definitely I'd be fucking voting for her 100% if her sister's throwing her under the bus. And I was like, I wasn't actually physically punching the air, but I was definitely pretty glad because I think the thing with Armani, she's one of those people who, if she was in your circle of associates or whatever, you'd probably say she's okay in small doses. She just, wants to have a say about everything. And honestly, you're saying about if we were on there, I would not have the required energy to put up with that for very long, to be honest. Like you say, I can see it in my mind's eye when you just mentioned about the toast sort of walking or strutting around the breakfast room, eating the toast like she fucking owns the place. I think with other characters where, say Paul from last season, you're like, oh, what an utter bastard, or you get other people who are like, oh, they're fucking terrible people, but great for this TV show. I don't think she was that. I think she was just full of herself. She had all the confidence in the world. I watched the thing after as well, the talk show, the kind of podcast that they do after. She had no idea. She genuinely thought she'd be strutting to the final. And I think that's the thing. So for me, it's a positive that she's out. I don't think she particularly added anything. I don't think she played a great game. We laugh at Linda making it so obvious, but I don't think Armani was that kind of clever about it either. I think for me, you do. Mina is the one who's like trying to scale it back. You ideally want to be in the shadows, don't you? You don't want to be throwing out theories about other people, or certainly. I think if I was a traitor, it'd be like about 3 seconds before I trip myself up, and then I'm like, oh, what did I say? Or, so I think it's a positive, but yeah, it's definitely for the show. I think it's not a bad thing that she's gone out, but also just personally, I think I've had my fill of seeing her on the TV. I do agree she'll be clambering to get onto something else. She'll be getting on all the talk shows, all the interviews that she possibly can. This weekend is her window, isn't it? She's the first traitor who's been voted out, so she'll be hammering it as much as possible, and trying to see what that next gig is.
100%. And you say, I love the fact you said I didn't watch the after thing, but I'm going to quote something because you were talking about how she left, and she's put, this is her quote, "It was such a witch hunt out of nowhere. I was like, hold on a minute. I thought we were all cool. I thought we were all on the Armani train. What is going on right now?"
Yeah, she did say that.
What the fuck is that? That is like narcissistical fucking comment. What is that about? That is brilliant.
What came across is she is one of those people who refers to themselves in the third person. Like,
yeah.
Oh, that's so Dave, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like, fuck off. So just there is no shortage of confidence there, but don't let your ass hit the door on the way out.
No, but I think her name helps Armani. No one's going to forget that. So
it's a good name, to be fair. Good name.
It's a great name because you'll see her on other shows now and they'll say Armani and I'll straight away go, it's not even The Traitors, is it? You know what I mean? And then I'll be like, oh, we need to watch that. You know what I mean? Because that's how it works, doesn't it? I'm saying it about her, but I'll probably watch something that she's in. But anyway, as the first week, we then get the little bit of, the carriage is coming in it, the train people are about to arrive. This is the massive twist going into episode 4, which we're not going to see now till Wednesday. But I don't know how that'll work. I understand it. Like you say, we've lost 5 people this week, and it's a massive. There's a massive list of people. But one of the things that you did say, I mean, someone talking about this was someone popped up on one of the talking heads bit, and someone went, "Who the fuck's that?" And I went, "No." I said, "That's a good thing." So what do you mean? I said, because in the past, the ones who get all the airtime using the first few episodes, they're the ones that are usually gone or they're going to go. I said, it's the ones that you don't really think or go under the radar. They come into prominence because it's a 4-week show. It's 12 episodes, isn't it, for us? It's only on the 4th week, maybe the end of the 3rd, where things will really start taking shape. Who is going to win? Because the traitors always, the ones who you think are going to win, like you say about Paul last season, and it's like the ones they think they've got the game plan, they think they're going to do it, they're in charge of everything, and that's what Armani did. She thought she was the leader of the traitors, didn't she? And it wasn't. It was the complete opposite, really. And like I say, I'm taking the mick out of Linda because she's 70 odd, but you never know. She might have been there at the end. She might be the one that everyone's like, no, it's not Linda. She's the mum of that's what's going to happen, isn't it? She's the grandmother. She's the mum of the group or whatever. And that's when people become a little bit blinded. But exactly what you said earlier, people make, as that saying goes, you never get a second chance to make a first impression. And that is exactly what people do. They'll go, I remember someone said it when they were looking over to the right there, and that's it. Yeah, definitely something going on. And I'm like, your whole theory is like, no, you're not fucking in the usual suspects. You're not Kaiser Soze. You're not going to fucking pull this together. You know what I mean? And everyone just be completely blagged. It's brilliant. People are not as clever as they think.
Do you remember? And this is so wrong. Was it last season or was it the first season? I think it was season 2. And they said, oh, you know, this person over here, we all raised a glass. We raised a toast to getting a traitor out, and that person didn't raise the glass. She didn't have a fucking hand. Do you remember? Do you remember? She didn't have a right hand, and the glass was on the right hand. But she was so convinced. She was like, yeah, didn't raise a glass.
That's fucking terrible. I remember now. Oh my God. That is terrible.
What I love is the relentlessness of this show. And I've seen I think it was in the post kind of get together after season 1, because it was a big surprise hit, I think, wasn't it? There's loads of these types of TV shows, and this one just absolutely caught fire and went viral pretty much in the country. And Claudia said that a lot of the tasks and things, they're there just to like give people a mental break. Because if they were just locked up, alone with their thoughts and trying to figure out who the traitors are 24/7, people would go a little bit nuts. But I have to say, I've enjoyed the challenges a little bit more, and mainly because the 2 traitors left now. So Linda and Mina, they don't. There's going to be a niggle there. There's going to be a real kind of fucking annoyance. They're going to wind each other up. And none more so than when they were doing that rowing challenge. Did you see that? When Linda was behind Mina. And she's like, oh, you're doing it at the wrong time. And even though she's a traitor, all tactics from Mina just went out the window, just like, get me off this fucking boat. And I think that will sort of present itself more in the second week, where they're just going to irritate each other. And also because Mina voted for Armani.
I
thought, again, a fucking ninja level move, I think, because it shows, you voted for a traitor. Now, we've seen... For me, where it does get really interesting is when the traitors can't trust each other, because when it all starts up, it's like, oh, hey, it's you. Oh, I don't believe it. Oh, yeah, we're going to be besties and we're going to get all these faithfuls out. But then when they can't trust each other, that's when the game steps up a level. So, yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to in the next week.
It's going to be brilliant. But no, I've loved it, mate. I've absolutely loved this. It's a complete breath of fresh air, and it's that show where I want to see the next episode. I want to see what happens. Yeah. I think it's just structured really well. It's just a really silly show that just works. And it's that whole Cluedo element to it that I love. People trying to work people out. And very rare people get it right. It's very rare. but no, a brilliant episode. So anything else before we go, Dave?
No, I think that's it. Like I say, really looking forward to next week. I just kind of... I like the fact they're spacing episodes out so you and I can have a good chat about it, and I kind of relive the episodes mentally, and I'm thinking, oh yeah, bloody love this, and where's it going to go? I mentioned about the bit of a niggle between Dan and Jake as well. I don't think we've seen the last of that because, Jake's a down-to-earth team player. Dan's just purely in it for himself, so I think they're going to wind each other up, or maybe the traitors will play on that a little bit. Maybe they'll get rid of one of them to put the spotlight on the other as well. So, no, I just can't wait, mate. It's just such a fun show, and I love the fact we can get so into it.
Love it. Absolutely love it. But no, massive thank you to everyone out there as well. We do appreciate it's our first episode going into 2025. So it's been good fun. And if you do want to support us, guys, please get over to patreon.com/CD Realitycast. If you want to email us, Chris and Dave's reality. No, it's not. It's cdrealitycast@gmail.com. If you want to follow us on social media @cdrealitycast, it's been a while. Please go to Facebook. Come and join us over there, guys. Chris and Dave's Reality TV Cast. We're getting people joining every day. The race to 1,000 is our target for 2025, Dave. 1,000 friends on there. So I think I don't know how many. We're over 700 and something, but I'll have the stats for next week. But let's hope we can get to 1,000 anyway. But no, thank you for your support, guys. So The first roll call of honour for 2025 is, and a thank you to Anna, Tilly, Marcy, Stacey, Sinead, Kathleen, Sims, Andrea, Nick, Danielle, Kim, Amanda, Larissa, Helen, Nicholas, Gillian, Keith, Helen, Chloe, Joanna, Libby, Susan, Lauren, Lucky Lulu Green, and Ken Gustafson. So thank you so much, guys, for your support. Every single person who supported us, past and present, on Patreon, we really appreciate it. So thank you so much.
Amazing, sir. Thank you so much for the chat today. Had good fun to be back for the new year. I can't wait for these next episodes. So thanks to all our listeners. Thanks to all our supporters. And we'll speak to you next time.
Bye.